Hello, boys and girls. So we are with a new interviewer. So we're going to learn about a really interesting job that I don't think you've probably heard of. So this is Mrs. Fontaine, and she is going to tell us what she does for a living. So my first question for you is, what is your job title?
Hi, everyone. My job title is Category Manager.
Very interesting. So definitely not your typical job title that we hear all the time. So when you were in elementary school, I bet you did not dream of being what you are today. What was your dream job in elementary school?
Yeah, when I was in elementary, I never heard of a category manager, didn't know what that was. I always wanted to own my own bookstore because I loved reading books. You would find me with a book in my hand everywhere. I would just carry a book around with me all the time. My dad called me a bookworm. So I thought everyone would want to have their own book and I would have a store where they could buy their own books.
Wow, that's very interesting. All right. So, with your career now and what you wanted to do when you were a kid, a bookstore owner, are there any similarities or anything that those two things have in common?
Yeah, a few things in common. As a category manager, I work with a store called Target. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure you've been to a Target many times with your mom or dad. And I don't work with books and I don't own the store, but I do help the store to determine where to put all of their products on their shelves. So when you go to the store and go shopping and you're looking for a specific item, it's easy for you to find and purchase.
Interesting. So, you work with putting things on the shelf so that people can find them easier to buy. And that's similar to what you wanted to do because you wanted to be a bookstore owner to sell things to people. So you're kind of on like the different
Exactly.
side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I still help people buy things,
Right.
but it's not books. I help them organize the store. hmm
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Well, I
So,
have to read a lot.
oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Lots of reading to know what the products are about and how to best sell them.
Right.
So, on a typical day of going to work, what do you do? What are the tasks that you have to complete?
Okay. Well, let me first take you into a store with your imagination. Say you're going with your mom or dad and you want to buy your favorite type of peanut butter, Skippy crunchy peanut, for instance. Um, and you get to the aisle and there's like 10 different types of peanut butter, right? You want to be able to find your Skippy crunchy peanut butter, but you have to narrow it down as you're looking, right? So that's kind of what I do. I help determine where everything goes on the shelf so you can find it. So I do that. I don't do that for peanut butter, but I do that for foot care items specifically. Some of the items I work with are like odor eaters that you put in your shoes so they don't stink. Um, Insoles that go in your shoes to make them more comfortable. Or if you have warts on your fingers or toes, we have wart products. So what I do, if I could share my screen,
Yeah, it should be working. I made you co-host, so let's see.
Okay, I'll show you a couple pictures. So can you see this picture?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a picture of what this foot care item set looks like in the store. So the way that I Let me know when you can see this screen.
Oh, yep, we can see it.
Okay, so this is computer software that I use to take these products. They're pictures of all the different products, and I move them around, kind of like a video game, so that they are all in the right spot of how it is easiest for you to buy them in the store. These down here are all the new products that I have to make room for on this shelf. So these items are being discontinued and I'm taking them out of the store so you can't buy them anymore, but they don't sell very well. So we need to replace them with better items. So I will take those off and move the new ones on like this. So it's like a puzzle. And I will do that until all of the items are on the shelf where they need to be. Now I will stop sharing.
That is very
And
interesting.
yeah, and then this picture that I just showed you goes to all of the Target stores in the whole USA. And then at the store, the people that work at the store, they will take this picture and then they will change the objects and the items in the store to match the picture.
Wow, I did not
So
realize
when you
all of
come,
that was going
mom and
on. That's very, very
yes,
cool.
yeah, it's fun. It's like a puzzle and everything has to fit. So when it gets to the store, there's no problems and products all fit nicely on the shelf.
Wow. I always wondered how they knew where to put everything and how to make it look so nice. And it's because of people like you behind the scenes.
Yes, and everything is organized the way people shop. So we do lots of interviews with people to understand, how do you like to shop for these products? Do you like to shop by the brand name first, or do you like to shop by the flavor or by the color? And all of those answers determine where I put those products on the shelf.
Very interesting. All right. So the next question is, how did you start this career and what did you have to do in order to be able to be qualified for this job?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I did go to college and I got a degree in psychology, and that psychology is of the mind or understanding behavior, human behavior, and how we do things and why we do things. So in this case, I love learning about how people shop for things and why they do what they do when they get into the store. I love learning why people do things. So that definitely helps with this job. It's one of the requirements to be able to have that background. And then I got into this. I don't know how I got into it specifically, just it sounded really interesting to me. And I saw a job posting for it and I applied for the job because I was very interested in it. And I've been doing this for 29 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've seen a lot of things change over the years of how products are being sold.
Yes, it's always changing. It changes based on what products are new, what products are trending. I've worked on many different types of products. I've worked on breakfast cereal. I've worked on fruit snacks. I have worked on underwear, and I have worked with popcorn. I have worked with nail polish. I've worked with perfume. I have worked with many different categories, all doing the same thing. So it's been very interesting.
That is very interesting. All
I
right.
get lots, I get lots of free samples.
Yeah, I enjoyed when you were on the nail polish and perfume because I still have a lot of perfume samples that you gave me.
Yes.
Okay, so the last question, and this is probably the most important question, is what advice do you have for all the elementary school students that are just starting to figure out what they're interested in, how they like to learn, and what things they like to do?
I guess my best advice is if you find yourself being very interested in something, in an activity, in a project, a hobby, just explore that all you can. Learn everything you can, read about it, learn about it, ask lots of questions about it, and just see where that takes you because you don't know where you will end up with that. I would say just learn everything you can about something that you enjoy doing.
Very good advice. I think that those our kids can definitely learn from that. And once they find something, just keep cruising along with that and then see where it
Mhm.
takes them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for telling us all about your career and what it involves and what you had to do in order to be qualified to do it. This is definitely an interesting job that I don't think a lot of kids know about, but they're affected by every day. Because if they're buying things, if they're shopping, then your job completely ties into what they're doing or what their parents or grandparents do every day.
Yes. Next time you go to the store, look at everything and think about someone like me making sure that object is in a good spot for you when you're shopping.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. And we had a really fun time listening to everything you had to tell us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All
Okay.
right.
Have a great day.
Thank you.